So for those of you that don't know, I've recently managed to pick up a full set of superior Dragon Armour for myself on my main Skyblock profile. Now you may be thinking to yourself, why would I care? How does this affect me? Well, on my small grind to superior, I learned a lot of neat little tricks and also some traps to avoid, and I felt as if it would greatly benefit you guys if you knew some of these things for when you choose to pick up a set of your own. Superior Dragon Armor is quite the hefty milestone, and having a smooth ride until you've acquired the set is something that you will definitely appreciate. Another thing that I want to mention is if you do have any further questions about my journey to Superior, or you didn't understand something from this video, feel free to pop into my Twitch streams. I stream every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The links are down in the description below. I'm always open to discussion, and if you do need some help, that's a great place to be. But, with all of that being said, let's jump right into the video. So here we are inside of Hypixel Skyblock, just outside the auction house here, and I am wearing my brand new Superior Dragon Armor, which I have actually hot potatoed and enchanted, almost fully enchanted. I just need to get Sugar Rush on the boots once the next Spooky Festival has come out. So, a couple of things that I want to get out of the way before we do start this video is Superior Dragon Armor's pricing, how much you should pay for, or I think you should pay for at the time of me making this video, and also what it's worth, how good it is, and realistically just a quick rundown of the set itself and why it's good. So, how much should you pay for this? Well, this is interesting because at the time of me recording this, the market for whatever reason on a lot of items has sort of dropped down drastically. So the prices on lots of things, let me take a look at the bazaar here. I remember that dragon fragments in particular, strong fragments and young fragments used to go for about 18k per on strong frags, and young frags are about 16k per. These have dropped down quite a lot in price, noticeably. Same with enchanted lava buckets. They used to be about 440k, now they're at 360k, which is quite huge. And also enchanted baked potatoes have dropped down a lot. They used to be 127, 130k. They're at around 100k right now. So overall, prices right now have taken a big hit for whatever reason. So I was actually able to cop this set for quite a cheap price. I paid 16.5 mil for the pants. I ended up paying a 9.7 mil for the boots. I had the chestplate already from leached fragments that me and my co-op had grinded for together. And I also managed to buy around 7 mil worth of fragments for the helmet. And then I just had more fragments lying around. So realistically, I would pay roughly 10.5 to 11 mil for the helmet, and I would pay no more than 10 mil for the boots, in between 8.5 to 10 mil for boots if possible. Obviously this is clean. If you buy it with enchants or hot potatoes, it may go for more. If it's reforged, it also may go for more as well, but that also depends on just what you're buying. So now that we've got the prices out of the way, I want to talk about the techniques that I used to earn the money to get the set, and also other things that I did in the meantime while I was still trying to earn that money, how to keep myself entertained with Skyblock and things like that. So the main money method that I used was actually auction flipping and bazaar flipping. So when I first started out, I had about 500k, 600k that I used from our bank because me and my co-op members, we have minions of course, so we sell the materials from those minions and get money out of it. And what I actually originally did, this is a little while back when Unstable Dragon was going for a pretty decent price, and what I would do here is I would just go to the ending soon page, I would type unstable drag, so that way you only get unstable dragon pieces. And then I would just have a look here, see what pieces were going for really cheap. If they were clean, I would reforge them with something decent, maybe like Unpleasant or Zealous or Godly if I got lucky. Enchant them, and then I would just sell the piece. I would sell a full set for around 2.2 million. And I actually managed to do this with 3 Unstable Dragon sets and half of another set. So those are the main techniques that I used. I used auction flipping. Obviously, Unstable wasn't the only thing that I flipped. I also flipped wolf pets. So I would go in here, type wolf. I would try and get wolves for about 2.4, 2.7 mil. Then I would go into lobbies and telling people to party me if they wanted to buy a wolf pet. And I would sell it for around 3.5 mil depending on what level it was as well. Now, another thing that I did do was bazaar flipping. So bazaar flipping, in my opinion, is a really good strategy, and it works exceptionally well if you're not very good at auction flipping. And it's also very easy to understand for a newer player or someone who doesn't want to put too much effort in to making some really easy money. So bazaar flipping does scale up the more money you have on you. And I'm not going to go into details on how to bazaar flip and whatnot because there's plenty of guides on that already. But what I would do is I'd either look at the oddities section, like sometimes dragon fragments, even catalysts and fuel sources. Sometimes I would try to flip tarantula silks or golden teeth, hot potato books, or I would look at the farming page. I remember at some point I tried to flip rabbit feet, enchanted rabbit feet, and enchanted rabbit hide if they had decent margins. And I would just sort of scroll through here and just click at like everything and find things that had good margins and I could sell and make a pretty nice profit out of it. And I did that for quite some time, just flipping and flipping and flipping bazaar items and also flipping auction items as well. Now, the last money making method that I want to cover was actually a really interesting one that people find quite underrated, I feel, and I probably should have done it more now that I look back on it because it was really useful and wasn't that difficult to do. Now, unfortunately, this one is not as effective if you're not an MVP Plus or higher. I actually have the MVP Plus rank, which someone ended up buying for me, but I do have MVP Plus just normally, and it involves using the warp to the spider's nest scroll. So it's just over here, warp to the top of the nest, and if you just sort of like hop between lobbies, you go /warp home, and you do /warp nest, and you just keep on trying to switch lobbies. You know, you click the up arrow key and keep going, just switching back and forth. You can actually try and snipe brood mothers, and the talismans that the brood mothers drop, if you upgrade them to the spider ring by using just a little bit of Tara silk, they actually go for around 250 to 400k on average, and in one session of about 10-15 minutes, I managed to get, I think, 8 talismans, and I made like a mil just off of hopping between lobbies for about 10 minutes, and it was really easy, not much effort required, and it is quite simple to do. So I highly recommend doing that if you have the rank. Even if you don't have the rank, it's possible to try and just climb all the way to the top. It may be a lot trickier, but if you do have, of course, MVP Plus, it may work out really well for you, and I definitely recommend you try out this strategy as well. So now that I've covered the money making strategies that I use with bazaar flipping, auction flipping, and also spider's den hopping, now I want to talk about what I did to sort of have fun in Skyblock, because obviously when you're trying to save up money, you don't want to be spending it on lots of things because you're trying to get a full superior dragon set. So to start things off, I really love doing slayers, and I'm not sure if you guys do too, but me personally, I love just doing a bunch of Tara slayers, killing lots of tarantulas, and also revenant horrors as well. They can be pretty fun. Now obviously, slayers are quite expensive. They cost about 50k for one tier 4, and that will eat up through your money very, very quickly, especially when you're trying to do slayers. So unfortunately for me, slayers were pretty much off limits when I was getting superior dragon armor, so instead I had to resort to trying to get dragons in end lobbies, and also just a bit of zealot farming to get golem bosses. So it did get quite boring, at least for me. I'm the kind of person who doesn't really like zealot farming because it's just mindlessly running around in a very competitive area with all these people in full young armor trying to take your zealots and also trying to get their summoning eyes. So I also did a bunch of fishing, and that actually was pretty fun for quite some time. I do quite enjoy doing fishing as well. But of course, for someone who doesn't really like doing fishing, or someone who doesn't like zealot grinding as well, and they just want to do slayers, or maybe they want to do something else, you can always try foraging. You can do a couple of other things, but for me, it was about finding things that I enjoyed having fun with. You could probably join a guild as well, and maybe they do like hide and seek mini games and stuff like that. There's a bunch of things you could be doing at the same time. So now that I've covered a couple of things that I did while I was getting superior, I want to talk about some traps that people might fall into and things that you need to be cautious of when you're going for a set yourself, because it's very important that you don't make mistakes like these because they can set you back quite a lot of progress and be quite bad. So there was one thing that I actually did myself which arguably wasn't a good idea, but at the same time I thought it was a good idea and I don't regret it at all, which is a good thing, and that was buying a golem pet. So golem pets at the time were pretty expensive. I paid 9 mil for this level 1 epic golem actually, and I've just leveled it up just from playing the game, and that was quite a big setback. 9 mil was quite a lot of money, but the reason why I did that was because at the time they were going for about 12 to 18 mil even on the auction house, and they were quite expensive, so that was a really good deal as well. And yes, I was at around 30 mil. It put me way back down to 21 mil, but I did have quite a lot of money somewhere within auctions, within sell offers and stuff, and I was confident that I could flip back up, and I wasn't going to be mad if it sent me back a few more days or weeks of progress, because I did want a golem pet at the same time of doing that. So I highly suggest that you do not make any big purchases when you're going for superior, because it will definitely set you back a lot, and you will never hit that mark if you're one person who just likes spending money. So just by being really stingy with your money, basically, you should be able to get there a lot quicker, which is a very simple thing, and a thing that you may expect is just common sense, but a lot of people don't actually do that. Now, another trap that I also sort of ran into when I was getting superior dragon armor was sort of these dry periods where I didn't get money, or when prices were sort of just going like crazy and doing a whole bunch of things. So sometimes when you are trying to flip, you never really get any good margins. So sometimes I would have my go-to items, which I'm not going to share in this video because I don't want people copying. It's important that when you do bazaar flip, you try and find your own items that work for you, as that'll be best for you. People will not be using the same strategy and everybody is able to earn. But anyways, my go-to items sometimes would never have good margins. charges maybe like 1 to 200 coin profits, and that's not really good to flip with because you're not going to make money quickly and you're not really going to make anything out of that, if I'm being honest. I ended up trying that with, I think it was like enchanted bones at some point, and I only really made like 50k after like 10-20 minutes, while if I tried that with a different item I could easily make a couple 100,000 doing the same thing. So that didn't really work out for me, and that wasn't very good. Now, what I did to counteract this was either I would try to get some cheap things on the auction, or what I actually did was that spider's nest hopping strategy that I talked about earlier, trying to hop through brood mothers and doing that. And I also just sat in the end and did other things in there as well. Now, if you don't want to do those things, of course, you can always play other games. Skyblock is not your only restriction. I just sort of took breaks in those dry periods when I wasn't getting really any money coming in. And it's important that you sort of balance that out because, of course, constant flipping or grinding for money day in, day out isn't really fun. And you never really want to be doing that constantly because you'll burn yourself out and you'll get bored very quickly. Now, the last thing I'm going to be covering in this video is fluctuation of prices and also what happened to me when I was buying Superior, and that may or may not happen to you when you're doing it as well. So, unluckily for me, when I was going for Superior Armor, the Hypixel dev team released the bins update, and that was kind of bad for me because that significantly affected the prices of higher valued items, because if you wanted to buy them instantly from the bins option, they're going to cost you a lot more than what they used to. If I just type in here Superior Drag, and then I went to the bins section, and then I just go to the lowest price, you can see here that boots are about 10 mil each. And I did say in the beginning of the video that you shouldn't be buying boots for more than 10 mil because it's just not worth it. You can definitely get it for much cheaper if you get a good deal or some good auctions. If you just keep scrolling down the page, these helmets are going for 13 mil and really high prices. I did not pay more than 11 mil for my helmet or so. Roughly like that. So you could definitely save a lot more money from just buying them off of auctions and not bin prices. And this really affected my journey to Superior because it significantly hit the prices a lot. And it made Superior roughly about 45 mil for the full set, all the way to like 65 mil when that happened. So prices did take a hit. Although what actually happened as well at some point when they released the update where Diver's Armor was useful and Emperor Skulls actually had some value, at the same time, for whatever reason, prices took a hit. Like I talked in the beginning of the video, some items are going for much cheaper than usual, and for whatever reason, the auctions for Superior Armor also took a hit and went really low as well, which was really good for me, and I took that opportunity to buy as many pieces as I could, and I ended up buying my 3/4 Superior because I already had the chestplate back at my base. So overall for me, that did come out pretty clutch as well. I would say the best you can do is be patient, because the more you're patient with things, the better results you will get. You will be able to get better deals, you'll be able to buy things for cheaper, and if you don't rush things, then you will have much more success, and in the long run, it will do you much better than if you're impatient and you try to get things quicker and faster because you just really want that Superior set. So overall, what can you take from this video? Well, the main things that I want to quickly recap on are some simple stuff, like Superior Armor shouldn't cost you more than around 50 mil for the full set. Obviously, depending on what the prices you get for the pieces are will fluctuate, and like I said before in the video, if they're hot potatoed, enchanted, or reforged, that will affect them as well. Also, that Superior Dragon Armor is a very good set, and I highly recommend going for it. Even though Dungeons is coming out, this set will still be very solid for just regular day in, day out grinding and just playing the game, and obviously you save Dungeon sets for when Dungeons comes out. Also want to recap on the couple of traps that you may fall into, which is spending too much money on things when you shouldn't be spending, and also being able to save whenever you can is a really important tip that I want to give to you guys as well. But the most important thing of all, and the thing that I've saved last, is just patience. Patience is key when you're going for this set, because like I said before, it's super important that you just wait for good deals, you wait for when prices are good, and you be very patient when you make purchases, because that way you will ensure that you get the best deals possible, and overall in the long run it will save you millions of coins for your Skyblock profile. So there we have it. That was basically my journey to Superior and a couple of things that I learned on the way as well. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, because if you did, I would greatly appreciate it if you left a like, and also consider subscribing to the channel, because I do make Hypixel Skyblock videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays. And also, once again, if you do have any further questions about anything that I've said in this video, or you just want to have some fun and talk to me, I do stream live over on Twitch every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Feel free to pop into my chat, we can have a discussion, we can play some games, and overall have a great time. But with that being said, that's going to be all for me today, guys. And as always, take care and peace. I can type in chat. Oh, no, I see you, bro. I love just grappling across half the map.